22 years old, moved to Korea. The war broke up, had to leave for Japan, lived with his family for over 17 years, a wonderful and rich life. I met him at the Depot coffee shop in Hopkins by the railroad there, and we have this conversation about his life in the past, present, future. Well, I think we can start by saying when was the first time you left the United States?
It was
and what place and what age?
Okay,
Just talk a little bit about the first few years.
Okay, sure. We left America in 1949. So I was 2 years old at that time. Sorry.
No, don't worry.
I was 2 years old at that time, 2.5. And so we took a boat from New Orleans and went through the Panama Canal, and then the boat went all the way to Japan.
There was no flights at the time.
That's right. There were flights, but my
flights.
parents, my father grew up in Europe, so he liked traveling by ocean.
Yeah.
He liked,
Nice.
we went through the Panama Canal and then went to I'm sure to Japan and Yokohama. I was only 2.5. I was only 2 years old at the time, so I don't remember. But we arrived in Korea, and that was in just a few months before the Korean War. So we
Not
back.
a good time to travel.
Not a good time to travel, but we had no idea that the war was going to. Well, I'm sure there was tension in North Korea and tension in South Korea, but anyway, we went to Korea, and we lived for several months in a place called Andong, which is a southern city of southeastern peninsula, southeastern part. So my father started a high school there, Korean high school. He started that, founded that. And then we went because of the war, we went to Japan. We were evacuated by the U.S. government to Japan. And so
It's a free ride.
free ride, exactly. They said, you got to get out. The North Koreans have advanced. So we were in a beach area which missionaries would gather for summer holidays. And this U.S. government official, embassy person, his wife was born and actually grew up in Korea like I did. She was some missionary parents. So he came and said, you have to leave immediately. So we didn't leave immediately. We had to gather a truck, got in the truck, and they drove to train station, Daejeon, and then there the truck was released, and we got on the train and went to Busan. And then from Busan we took a boat to Japan.
So who's guiding through all this? People who know the road, because you don't know.
Yeah. The missionaries, they know the roads. Don't
worry about that.
Don't worry about that. They
And they have people on the ground that
yes,
help them out.
Help them out. Right. That's right.
It's better than boots on the ground. Now you have missionaries.
Missionaries.
You have kind of,
first of all,
color on the cloth.
they speak the language, and so they could do that.
Nice.
So apparently they were able to get a truck, rented a truck from from I guess to the train station, which was probably about 40 miles or so, not very long. But in those days, you had to go through streams of no bridges. Later, of course, during the war, all the bridges were bombed and so on. But anyway, we got there and went by train. I remember my first memories in my life were on that train, because we arrived. Went in the train. My memory is the night. We were on a night train, and we got off, and then they put us on a boat, freighter, and it took us to Japan. So I remember the boat, the room. We were all in one big room, as I remember, and so that was those are my early memories of my life in Korea.
So obviously you have no saying of all of this. You're 2, 3 years old.
Right, 3 years old.
And you just go wherever they take you.
Right.
And then what?
Then we went to Japan.
You didn't stay that long in Korea.
That's right, because of the war.
Yeah, so you don't remember all about
No.
that time.
No, I don't.
Okay, now you are in Japan.
Now I'm in Japan, and there's my early memories are from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And my father, during that time, he went back to Korea. He was able to go back because single, they didn't want
Yeah.
families there, but a single missionary. And the area where he was doing his work was south of the fighting, really. And he, of course, couldn't do that work when the war started because the U.S. government wanted all the missionaries and all the foreigners, all the Americans to get out. So we were in Japan, but he returned and did his work.
Wow.
And he founded a high school. It's still in existence now, Christian high school. So yeah, I spent 4 years in Japan, and that was my early experience. Most of my early memories are in Japan.
So do you have any sibling at the time?
Yep, I had a brother,
Okay.
and then my sibling, first sibling, a younger sibling, was born in Japan. So.
Okay. So what's your childhood look like in a foreign country, language and all of that?
Yeah, I was in Japan then.
Well, the kids don't need language, you just play.
Yeah, playing.
Yeah.
That's right. But I learned the language. Apparently, I had a kind of, what should I say, interest in language. And so I was only 4 or 5 years old, but I became my mother's interpreter.
Really?
Yeah, because the fish
Yeah, yeah.
at that time the stores, grocery stores and small marketplace.
You don't want to buy the wrong package.
That's right. They would come to the door and sell.
yeah. I see.
In those
Yeah,
days,
yeah.
they
Yeah.
brought their.
They still do, and now Chinese come and knock on the door in Egypt, and they
Oh.
sell clothes and.
Oh yeah,
This is
yeah.
nice.
So it's very similar.
No, DoorDash. They don't dash, but they are on the door.
So my mother couldn't speak Japanese. She had learned Korean, but she couldn't speak Japanese. But I went to a Japanese kindergarten, and so I became fluent. I mean, child 5 years old learning Japanese, but I became her interpreter.
So how do you get in the kindergarten as you are an American, right?
Yes.
So that must enrollment of foreigners, or that wasn't that.
It was in a city north of Tokyo,
Yeah.
and we were in missionary housing there. So those missionaries had gone back to the U.S. for furlough. We call it furlough for a year. So that house was empty. So we stayed in their home, and there was a kindergarten, a Christian kindergarten, right across the street.
Wow, I see.
So my parents said, "You go," took me there, and I became So I have a picture in my home of
I'll
just
pick you up in a few years.
Here's right. Picture of this little white, head with the Japanese.
That's an eyesore.
I'm sorry. Because there was a Christian management.
Plus
They,
other Americans there.
there were no other Americans in this. There were other Americans in the city, and they had a school. But my brother was 3 years older, so he went to the English school.
That's not fair.
That's not fair. I went to the Japanese school.
Pick
But-
on your younger brother, send them with the Japanese.
Send him to the Japanese school.
Yeah.
So that was
That's even better because
it's
you learn the
even
language.
better. Yeah.
At
So
that age,
that age,
easier to
yeah.
acquire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
So
that was
so,
my
So
first.
the kids, and obviously, I'm not saying part of being the tallest student. But you're
I
an
wasn't
Ameri-
very tall. I wasn't
You're
very-
an American.
Yeah.
And we just bombed the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Do they remember any of this? They
I don't
treat you
remember
different?
any of that, and I don't remember any
Well, how about
fear.
the Japanese?
Fear. Well, that's a good question. For example, the relationship with Japan and the U.S. took on a lot of benefits because Japan, after the war, was decimated in many ways. But fortunately, the factories were decimated, but the people had the knowledge and the experience of running and building their own factories. So they built up very quickly. So what was I meaning by that? Well, they were open
Their attitude
toward the Americans. Yeah, it's completely different.
Especially kids.
Yeah, right. They're very, very open and accepting. So
in that school, you learn language,
yes,
Japanese?
Japanese, yeah. It's a kindergarten, you know, so not.
Oh, kindergarten, of
Yeah,
course.
so not.
You don't,
You don't do much except play.
you cry, play, cry, and you cry or you laugh. And that's
Yeah,
our universal language.
That's it.
No alphabet.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then
Stayed there.
we stayed there, and then the war. And during that time, we moved. After 2 years, we moved to Tokyo, and we lived in Tokyo. And my father was able to continue his work in Korea, so he went back, and he would, go back and forth, visit us. Like he was gone for every 3 months or something. So. We were in Tokyo, and I became my mother's little interpreter.
So how many years you stayed in Japan?
At that time, 4 years.
4 years. So now you are 6 or something?
That's right. I was 7. I was 7 when we
so
left.
you went to what? Elementary school?
Excuse me. I went to an elementary school for missionary kids.
Okay. So it was in English?
In English, yeah.
Okay.
All in English, yeah.
Okay. So a part of getting out of the missionary school or the missionary church, when you are in a shop, mall, street, when you are interacting with the locals.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that go?
Oh, well, I spoke Japanese, so I was only, at that time 6 and 7 years old. So we lived near a shrine, and I would go down there and play. And the shrine had festivals, and so I would be interested in what's going on there. So it was a very, very good learning experience for me in Tokyo.
When you left America, you're only 2 years old, so you're not really an American. Not much.
Yeah, that's right.
Except how you look.
Right.
So it was not as hard to immerse
That's
in
right.
Japanese life and culture.
That's right. That's right. Because I had my early years in Korea, so Japan was Asian, and it was easy to immerse.
Would you thought of yourself as an American, Japanese, or you didn't think much about it?
I didn't think much about it. Yeah,
Just a kid.
Yeah, because actually it was just a kid, and also, my first earliest experience in my life were in foreign countries. So
Mhm.
I was, it was nothing different.
Yeah.
Korea and Japan are very different, as you know, but
Yeah.
I felt natural about it.
So now, 60 years later, whatever,
Yeah.
you look back on this experience between Japan and Korea and all that. Now it's clear to you.
Yeah, I think I have 3 siblings, and actually my parents adopted a Korean girl, so we have 4 siblings. But of the 4, excluding the Korean daughter, but of my 3 other siblings, I'm the only one who returned to Asia. So
Really?
yeah.
On a regular basis, I believe almost every year.
Yeah, well, I during college, of course, I went only once, but after college, I decided I wanted to return to Asia. My parents were still in Korea, so I returned, and then I just decided to stay, and I moved to Japan and met my first wife in Japan, married, and I thought, I was going to be there the rest of my life. But I had to connect with America in some way.
Yeah.
So I returned to America with my Japanese wife, and she was very homesick. She didn't like it.
Yeah.
So, but fortunately, in that marriage we have 2 children, and both of them were born in Japan.
Mhm.
So they grew up in Japan. Yeah.
And where are they now?
Well, my son is in Tokyo, still in Tokyo.
Oh, wow.
He's a pilot. And so he gets around the world, and where did he get that from? And my daughter is in Australia. She married an Australian fellow.
Nobody wants to stay in America. What's wrong with your family? You're not patriotic enough. I hope Trump doesn't watch our show.
Good point.
So it bleeds on their kids to live in a foreign country, so they were not intimidated by it because you talk about your experience a lot.
Yeah.
So it wasn't something scary, and it's always
No. Well,
people say, "Oh no, don't go to Middle East." Oh no.
Yeah.
Now my family in the Middle East calling me, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, right.
What about me now?
Yeah,
Because
well-
of ice and whatever.
Sure, sure.
So what your dinner at family tables? What is the conversation when you get together? And
Yeah, well, I married Chris, so she's really helped me to become more, it's funny to say acclimated to American culture, but yeah, I mean,
when you return.
When I returned, right,
Yeah, yeah.
because in my early years, I had I knew my grandparents were in Michigan, they lived in Michigan, but we only visited them for a few,
Yeah.
a few days or something like that. So I didn't have any place in America that's really, my home.
Home, yeah.
When everybody asks me, "Where's your home?" Well, Japan. I spent 17 years there.
Wow.
Yeah. So Japan is where my Korea was my earliest experience in my life was in Korea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then Japan was when I became an adult,
The lasting one.
the lasting one. Right.
So those 17 years is formidable years in your life.
Right.
Because you are high school, whatever, or
I,
college.
I was out of college,
Yeah,
so
so the 20s and whatever.
That's right, right.
You stayed there until almost 40.
till I was 40. That's right,
So
41.
Is
yeah.
there a gap there in your life, those 17 years?
Well,
What-
it
what-
was
what-
17 years including the young years in Japan. Yeah, I felt, what should I say, to answer your point, I didn't have any real reason to go back to America because I had 2 children born with the
Yeah.
first wife, and I was their father. I wanted to keep connection with them. But when I met Chris, then I thought, and just at the time I met Chris, I was thinking, I should reconnect with America in some way.
But you met Chris after those 17 years, right?
No, let's see, at the end of them. So
Oh.
in the 16th year.
So so 10, 15 years you lived as a Japanese.
Yes.
Japanese.
Really, I lived a Japanese
Yeah.
life. I was called, they have a word for that, salaryman. So I was just, I was not sent by any American company. I was not working I worked for the Japanese office of an American company. I worked for them for 6 years. It was a travel business. So.
I see. Consulting. of some sort.
Yeah, and traveled with. They had tour groups from Los Angeles, and I would help to organize those, and then I also became a tour conductor through Southeast Asia. Yeah,
For American tours. and
American
stuff.
tours. So all these people were mostly from Hong Kong, Bangkok, Singapore, and the circuit. We call it the circuit in Manila. So I was basically working in the office in Tokyo, but my boss, who was Japanese, he would let me. I wanted to take some of the tours myself because I wanted to, have that experience of showing people how they feel. Talk about how they feel.
For those supervision. There's no freedom.
But
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Did you?
Yeah, I did, and I was hired. I mean, my boss, the man who hired me and later became my boss, he said, we do have foreign tour guides and tour conductors. He said, "Do you want to be that?" And I said, "No." He said, "What? You don't want to travel?"
It didn't take you much to think about this.
I know. He said, "What are you talking about? You
Yeah.
can make money on the tour, and why do you want to
Stay in the office.
Yeah, and I want to be in the office because I want to learn the business." And I said, if you can train me, that would be great. And I can, whatever I can do in the office. I mean, I have no experience, just a college graduate. But he was Japanese, spoke English very well. But he, had trouble writing letters to the home office in Los Angeles. So he said, "Yeah, you can." Well, he figured out I could be like his secretary. So everything in English. I saw everything in the office in English. I would correct it.
Yeah, I see.
So.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a great learning experience. Yeah, I worked for that company for 6 years, and then finally I told him, I said, I need to go back to America to just reconnect. I'm American, but I haven't lived in America, as you know now. I said, I think I need to go back. So he arranged for me to get a job in their Los Angeles office.
Oh, they have.
They have, yeah. And so I went back there. I didn't really want to work in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I wanted to work in Chicago
Yeah.
because I was a Midwesterner and
Exactly.
I felt that it was a smaller office, but they weren't hiring. So I went to the Los Angeles office, and that was a tough assignment.
So what do they do here? Like the opposite, like take care of the Japanese tourists, or like
Yeah.
reverse what you used to do there? in
Yeah,
Japan?
yeah, that's exactly right. Well, in Japan, I was taking we were taking care of American tourists. So, and the Japanese office also had an outbound, what we call out overseas, for Japanese to go to America or to go in the Japanese side. So, but I asked to work in the Los Angeles office, which they didn't need me because they had the Tokyo office. Why do we hire you? Because you worked at Tokyo.
Yeah.
We know they could do everything. Why are you here?
What are you doing here?
So I was,
Yeah.
I was a misfit, and so I didn't like Los Angeles.
Well, how long did you stay there?
3 years.
Oh, that's not a misfit. It's already
Well, I endured.
exactly a long misfit.
Long misfit, but I'm in our community where we lived in Los Angeles, near Burbank. There was an American who married a Japanese woman, and so we became friends. So I left that American company and I worked for him for a while,
I see.
and doing some sales for him. So,
But you're still involved in Japan and Japan culture. You
Right.
go there, and also there is a sister city
that's right.
that you're involved in.
There are a number of the Japan America Society was founded after the war, and it happened that there was a company. You probably know the Hill family, James J. Hill.
Oh yes, a
But-
big house there on Mississippi.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've been there during an art
Oh,
event.
very good. Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah. Well, that family, Hill family, had connections with Nagasaki.
Ah,
They opened in the late 1800s, 1880 or something. They first American company to open an office in Japan and in Nagasaki.
wow.
And the reason was there's shipbuilding. They have a shipbuilding area, and and the one Japanese company has a steel building establishment there, Mitsubishi. So so the Hill family had a contact in Japan for many years. So the city of Nagasaki and St. Paul became sister cities. The first international sister city between an American city and a Japanese.
Really?
Yeah.
Nationwide,
Nationwide.
not just Minnesota.
No,
Yeah, I
nationwide.
did not know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So St. Paul is the first relationship with any
Wow.
Japanese
Isn't
city.
that nice?
Anyhow.
That is beautiful. And so
Yeah,
what
thank
does
you.
that, what does Sister City do? What
Well, it's actually a civic organization,
yeah.
but
Exchange.
they have cultural events to promote Japanese culture. You may know of the festival that's held every summer. I can't remember the name right now, but it's a summer festival.
The National Festival? Or Festival of
can't-
Nation?
No, it's a not that very similar,
Yeah.
but it's strictly a Japanese.
Oh, I see.
What they call the lantern lighting festival. Lantern lighting. So in St. Paul, the what's the name? I'm losing my memory here.
No, it's
what's
fine.
The name of the park, Como Park. It's always held in Como Park, and Como Park has that wonderful, garden.
Yeah.
And so they meet in that area, and they have like 10,000 visitors
Oh.
for that.
We used to meet at St. Anthony, Maine.
Yes.
That is also have a some kind of a simple
That's
statue
right.
there
It's
that the
exactly,
Japanese
and that's
wrote.
between Los Angeles, between Tokyo, well, I'm sorry, between St. Paul
Nagasaki.
and Nagasaki, and also Minneapolis
Really?
has a very
You can have two sisters.
yeah,
They
you
were
can.
twins.
Well, let's say that St. Paul and Nagasaki are sister cities.
Okay.
But Minneapolis is with it's a city near Kyoto.
Different city.
Different city.
Okay.
So
You don't want to mix up.
don't mix up that.
I know are the twins here, and they are the twins there.
That's right. Well, there are about 10 or 12 cities in the U.S. who have relationships with.
And I mean, let's start with your entry to America. Sometimes the re-entry is harder than your first departure.
Yeah.
Because you were very young. You didn't really have a lot of package and reference, American reference to go there. And you're just a kid.
Yeah.
But when you came, you were an adult. So
Right.
how hard is it to reconnect and to re-enter?
Yeah, well, I
America?
went to college in Holland, Michigan, to a college, liberal arts college called Hope College. And they have, and so, well, there's no Japanese community there, really. The college has a relationship with with the university in Tokyo.
Oh,
So there's that.
you
There's
still
that,
connect.
yeah, still connect. Yeah, yeah. So, you know, that was an easy connection for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
they knew Japan. I mean, they didn't know that much now that I remember it, but they had a relationship with a Japanese university.
Oh,
So there
they
was
have
that.
a Japanese program.
They did. They
Yeah,
did. Yeah,
yeah.
they don't anymore, unfortunately,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
did. Yeah. So I assisted in that program at the college.
As a
And
student
as a
too?
student, yeah, as a student interpreter, or you know,
Yeah.
just to. I saw these Japanese students getting off the bus,
Yeah.
and I thought, wow, I've seen this scene before. I
Yeah.
couldn't speak Japanese at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
some words I
My
remember.
guy, you couldn't get away from the
I couldn't-
Japanese.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Korean bred, but when I saw those Japanese students, all these memories
Yeah.
flooded back. Oh,
More
Japan.
than Japan or Korea. What always fascinating Korean, Japanese.
That's right.
What tell us a little bit about kind of differences
Between the two
similarities.
countries, yeah.
Yeah, and culturally, politically.
Yeah, well, that's a very interesting question. Actually,
Yeah.
I thought about it for a long time,
Yeah.
and the actually Koreans are really Han. The Han people are from Northern Asia,
Han is an ethnic
ethnic group.
or geography.
Yeah, so they are definitely part of the Northern China, Northern Asian people.
Okay.
They were her. Let's see. They were, what's the word? They moved with with their flocks, and they came from Northern Asia to China and to Korea.
I see.
So Koreans are definitely part of that Asian group. Yeah. Whereas the Japanese are different, and I'll explain that. But Koreans are definitely part of a North Asian tribe or racial group.
Yeah, yeah.
So their roots go way back.
Okay, so how would that plays out the cultural difference?
In Japan? Or no,
being a Han and being North Asian and being Japanese,
Yeah.
different geography, different history,
Right.
So different also.
Yeah, I think the history is different and
Yeah.
unique because Japanese were immigrated. They had immigrants from not only from the north but from the south,
I see.
and they intermarried. So and they moved north. So the people in northern part of Japan are from the Altaic. Well, they are mainly from. Some of them came from the south, so they had some. They're called almost Eurasian, not really, but they have a lot of hair. The men have beards, so those people probably came from northern part of.
You've never
Asia.
seen a Japanese with a beard.
I know you never, rarely see
Very
it.
rare. It
So-
comes on be on American television.
Yeah, right.
I mean movies.
That's right.
Yeah.
So where did these? So there are two integrated. One from the north, from China through Korea, which is a smaller group, and then most of them came from the South Pacific, up through Taiwan, the Philippines, Taiwan, and then into Japan.
But for us that really don't know much about this area, we can tell the Japanese or Koreans.
Sure.
And I'm sure for you, you just can figure out right away.
Well,
the way.
not always, but yes.
Yeah, but more than I do. But what gives? What?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
The Koreans, being Han people, they don't have much facial hair, but the ones that came from the south, they had more facial hair,
Okay.
and so
That's not from a visual.
visual.
Physical.
That's right.
How about culturally or?
Well, culturally,
Because the language is a little bit different.
Yeah, the Korean, and they're very similar, but not in sound. But the grammar is almost exactly the same. Korean language, Japanese language, almost exactly grammar-wise.
And why the sound is different?
Good question. Why does it sound different?
Because probably the alphabet is the same?
The alphabet is different.
Not different.
Yeah.
So that may be.
Yeah,
the
right.
reason.
And I think that's it. The alphabet
Yeah.
is the same, but the pronunciation is different, and maybe that's because some of the peoples from the south integrated enough to change the pronunciation.
And the relationship between Japan and Korea is not really cordial.
It's not cordial. It's,
Yes.
yeah.
To be polite, to put it politely.
To put it politely.
So what's going on? How that affects your relationship? People on the ground, not at a politics level, but on the people on the ground. And the Japanese go and visit Korea.
They do. Japanese do, and Koreans
they
love
come
to
back?
visit. They come back for the most part. Well, that's an interesting question, of course.
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
because historically they're very, very close.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so a lot of interchange, no doubt, and for years there was and Japan always tried to conquer Korea. They couldn't quite do it. They tried it several times in history. They couldn't do it. So, so...
The same with America.
Same with America.
That's good. That's good. So how that plays out? If those, because people have a collective memory,
That's
All
right.
these people know. The
That's
Korean will know what happened, and
Oh, yes.
the Japanese did not treat them well when they were.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's stay in the collective.
Oh, it's still a bias.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Japanese who overtook Korea were very ruthless, and the Koreans were second-class citizens. They integrated Korea became a province of Japan. So, but Koreans never lost their identity.
Never surrendered.
Never surrendered. But they learned Japanese. Japanese ruled them for I think something like 90 years.
Ooh.
So after World War II, the great powers divided. Who's going to take over to disseminate the Japanese. So the Russians took over North Korea, and the U.S. or UN took over the South Korea.
Well, that's how it started.
That's how it started. Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. Now before that, Japan ruled all of the peninsula.
Yeah.
So
at least they unified the whole country.
yeah, unified
They
the whole.
don't divide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they unified the whole
I'll take
country.
that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
What?
Well, Korea is. Japanese historically thought Korea was like a dagger in their side.
Yeah, exactly.
So they said we have to take it.
Well, eventually the Japanese are going to leave, and you still have the country intact.
That's right.
But you liberate the Korean from the Japanese, now you have two.
Right.
So, it wasn't a.
It was in the what was
Wasn't
in
a good deal.
It was not a good deal.
No.
The Stalin
Stalin
and Truman and who was the third? Chiang Kai-shek. I'm not sure. The three powers said, Russia was insisting on having a foothold in Korea, and they shouldn't have let them. They should have. MacArthur wanted to bomb up to the China border.
Yeah, another bomb.
Another bomb, right? He really.
There were three.
Yeah, that's
They had
right.
three. They only used two.
He only used to
They were wondering about the
North
Soviet
Korea.
Union.
Yeah, the Soviet Union, and MacArthur wanted to go all the way up there and keep and fence that area, but Truman called him back
Yeah.
It was, as you know the story. So,
I don't know anything.
no, you know a lot.
From an American that he left country 2 years old, Korea War, in Japan, and stay and married and.
Yes.
And so, what's your relationship with your children? You know, one in Japan and one
In Australia.
and then you have kids from the second marriage.
Yes, yes.
So-
we have 3 boys
From the second marriage. This is
from Chris and me.
American ones.
These are the American ones.
No, not
Although
messed up.
the first one was born in Japan, by the way.
Oh, from
Because
Chris.
Chris and
Yeah.
because we met in Japan.
What's the relationship between children? You know,
Yeah.
the one from Chris, the one from the Japanese.
Yeah.
Very
Very good.
What's your Thanksgiving dinner look like?
Well, first of all, the 2 children that I have from my first marriage, one is in Australia and one is in Tokyo. So,
Okay.
But the one in Tokyo, he's a pilot.
Yes, he comes.
He comes. He's faithfully come to our home about once when he was in college. He came once a year. He saved his money, and he worked part time. And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
came by himself. He just came, dropped in. So
And
and
he
he
lives
lived with
in Australia
us.
by himself.
He lives
As a
in
student?
Tokyo. And yeah, he lives in Tokyo with his wife, who's Japanese,
Yeah.
and they have a daughter, and Sarah. And but my daughter
the one who lives in Australia.
in Australia is she has 3 children from her marriage to an Australian,
Oh.
and who she met in Tokyo. So
I'm confused already.
I know we're just
I can follow people go about their family tree. Your family tree looks so messed up.
yeah.
Branches coming
Yes,
from everywhere.
right.
But it's beautiful. I mean, it's a very unique family tree. But when they get together, do they social media?
Oh
now?
yes. The boys, our 3 boys, Chris and I, 3 boys.
Yeah.
They love Julie, who's my daughter, and they love David. Yeah, because he came to visit every year. He came as a student. He came by himself, and they
Nice.
got to know him. Yeah, and they're crazy about him. Yeah,
This is-
he's their big brother. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And so we went to Tokyo last year, to Japan last year, or this past year. They really
Stayed
enjoyed
there,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
stayed there. We got together with David and his wife and their daughter, and David comes quite often, and so his wife and their daughter also have come. So they know them better than Julie, really. But
Well, I think if we have more family like yours, I think the world will be better off. Can we get along?
Thank you. That's
No, I
very
think
nice.
it is beautiful, and I think thank you so much for sharing this story, and I'm sure we'll do more of that. We are sitting here at the depot. This is my first time to see this lovely place.
Yeah.
And I know you've been here a few times, but this is a cottage here on railroad, right?
Yes, right.
I hope the train knows where it's going. I'm sitting here on the edge. Well, thank you so much.
Oh no,
we'll do that.
for what it's worth, you know.
No, well.